So Dave is with me today. Dave, however, is not interested in posing for the camera. Dave just wants to mess up my headphones, basically, because that's what she's like. Anyway, so I got a question from Sarah, and they were saying that they gained some weight, not all the weight they need to, and they feel disgusted by that and terrified by it. And so the question was how to not be afraid or disgusted by weight gain and how to want to gain weight. And my answer to that is, well, you can give up on that. You're not going to want to gain weight. That's one of the mechanisms of a restricted eating disorder. Even those of us who don't like being underweight struggle, and those of us who logically, I'm talking prefrontal cortex place logic, want to gain weight, still are afraid of gaining weight. So the fear of gaining weight is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere until you've rewired it. You rewire the fear of weight gain by teaching your brain stem area, not prefrontal cortex, remember, different parts of the brain. Prefrontal cortex knows, logically, I need to gain weight. Brain stem area is like, ah! So we have to show the brain stem area that weight gain is not a threat to us. And the way that you show your brain stem area the fear that it has, or something that thinks is a threat, is not actually a threat, is by doing that thing over and over and over again. Until at some point, your brain stem area is like, oh well, I guess I've done that 100 times, it didn't kill me, so maybe I don't have to be afraid of that thing anymore. Now, you can't expect, like your brainstem, you have to teach your brainstem that you're not afraid of weight gain and that weight gain is not a threat to you. And so it's not just going to magically happen just because you decided that you want to actually recover from your eating disorder. You've got to show your brainstem that by your actions, which means that you have to repeatedly and consistently act as if you are not afraid of weight gain. Remember, your brainstem's watching everything you do. And you have to do it for long enough until the fear goes away. So that's kind of like the whole point. The fear is going to be there until you've rewired it. So there's no point in sort of thinking that you can wait or that there's anything I can tell you that's going to make fear of weight gain or that feeling of disgust of weight gain and all of those emotions that your brain is throwing at you, trying to convince you that you shouldn't gain weight. Like, that's your brain doing its job because it thinks that weight gain is a threat. It's not going anywhere. You can't make it go anywhere until you've rewired it. And so you have to get used to the idea that you're going to feel terrified and you're going to feel disgusted about the weight gain. Those are just emotions that your brain is using to try and convince you that you shouldn't do this. It's going to stop doing that once you've done it, once you've done the rewiring. It means that you have to do what you've got to do with those feelings just sitting right there next to you. Get used to it. Make friends with the fear. It's going to be there a while. It's going to be there a long while. Yeah, Dave agrees. So, give up on this idea that in recovery, there's, you wait until the fear isn't there anymore before you do unrestricted eating, because it's just not going to, it's backwards. That's not how it works. You do unrestricted eating, you do all of the things that you're afraid of, and because you do all the things that you're afraid of, your brain ceases to be afraid of them because you've been doing them and showing your brain that there's nothing to be afraid of. The fear is not going anywhere until you rewire it. So just get used to that and stop trying to evade it. Be like, all right. I've always said, and I know I wrote this in my book, although I often struggle to remember what I wrote in that damn thing, but you run into the fear. You run straight at it. That's how you do recovery. You don't try and sidestep it. You don't try and avoid it. Don't even try and make it less. You just run straight at that fear. Because by running at the fear, you show your brain that the fear is actually not needed, not appropriate. And you have to show your brain that via action. Words don't mean shit to the brainstem area. It doesn't understand them. It just watches. Just like a reptile. That's why they call it the reptile brain. So, your reptile brain is going to pipe off. It is going to have a massive opinion about you gaining weight. It is not going to like that. The reason it doesn't like that is because you have a fear of weight gain that you have to rewire. So it's going to shout and it's going to scream and it's going to tell you not to do it. It's going to throw all of these emotions at you, trying to persuade you that above anything else, you absolutely should not gain any more weight. And you have to do it anyway. And there is nothing that we can do to make the brain stop throwing all those emotions at you and stop screaming at you about it and stop being afraid of it, other than showing your brain via your actions that it doesn't need to be afraid of it. That is how we rewire it. So don't worry about the fear being there. It's supposed to be there. What you've got to focus on is allowing the fear to be there for now. It will go away in good time, and doing what you knew you need to do anyway. And that means weight gain. So get on with it. Bye.